The Woman in the Window is a psychological thriller now streaming on Netflix, directed by Joe Wright, which marks his first directing of a psychological thriller, and it stars Amy Adams. I was very excited. Let's talk about it. We follow an agoraphobic woman with a tragic past living alone in New York, and she begins to spy on her neighbors only to witness a disturbing act of violence. I went into this film very blind. I didn't watch a trailer. I didn't even know Joe Wright directed it until the day I watched it. But before I dive into my review, I want to know your thoughts. If you were excited for this film, if you enjoy it, if you read the book, let me know all that in the comments below. Start the conversation. It's the most important part. And while you're down there, consider clicking the subscribe button. It does wonders to get my content out there, and you'll always be aware of whenever I upload a new movie review, TV review, anime review, trailer reaction, all sorts of great geeky content. Joe Wright's films, even though I don't love them all, I always think they look amazing, and the cinematography in The Woman in the Window is no different. Working with cinematographer Bruno Delbonnel, who did Inside Llewyn Davis, who did Darkest Hour with Joe Wright, and my personal favorite out of his work, Amelie, this film has gorgeous visuals that are very intriguing but also beautiful to look at. Its use of color when you go into different divisions in the room and to set the tone of our lead character is just very well handled, beautifully done, and there are a lot of creative transitions as well as the mix of several events in different times to see through our character's eyes how she sees the world. There's a particular moment where we transition from second act to third act after we get one of the film's big reveals. The visuals on that are just incredible, and it shows the creativity of Joe Wright as a director, but most importantly of Bruno Delbonnel as a cinematographer and visual storytellers. Amy Adams is always great. She can be in the worst film of all time and she'll always deliver. She nails every frame that she is on screen. This is a woman that has a very tragic past that we unravel throughout the film slowly but surely, and Amy Adams can really convey that pain, that sorrow, that grief, as well as play a woman who is not alright in the head throughout the film. Because she is also the narrator, she is very much an unreliable narrator, and whatever she says, she herself is able to give you a hint of doubt about every single piece of information that she provides, which I think is amazing on her part, but also shows how the character specifically is so well written. It is in many aspects a very intriguing, intense film. This woman cannot leave the house. She has all these problems, and every single one of these people doubt it. Every relationship that she has is very damaged because of relationship damage that comes from her past as well. So when it comes to this character, when it comes to the visuals, and when it comes to the big, important beats of the story, I think it's very well done. Tracy Letts, an amazing actor but also playwright, he wrote this screenplay. I don't think it is his first screenplay, but he more so writes for theater, and I think it shows. Because as I said, the big important moments are there, they're effective, they make you feel something. It's the connecting threads to get to those moments that really make this film suffer, unfortunately. The beats are there, and the third act is really good when obviously everything comes together, but it really shows how effective Tracy Letts can be as a playwright, as a writer. He gives you that sense of catharsis, that sense of elevated tension, and he clearly understands how to capitalize and how to send everyone out on a good note when it comes to the conclusion of his story. But to get to its conclusion, The Woman in the Window really suffers because of how well the main character is handled. The first two acts really give you almost nothing. Because you know this woman is crazy, you don't know what to believe, and because Amy Adams plays her so well, there's really nothing for you to grab onto on what is reality and what do we know. We come to the third act feeling like we know nothing, and so when we have to catch up on all of these events, all of these characters that have been established, all of these stakes that have been established, it's really confusing. The payoff is there. The build is very muddled. Because apart from Amy Adams, you don't really know, nor do you really care about anything else. She is a very interesting person. The mystery itself really isn't. It has a lot of underdeveloped aspects, a convoluted plot, underused supporting characters. And so when we start to put the pieces of the puzzle together with our main character, we have to catch up on all these things and all these characters that we were not interested in. And so we barely remember anything that was established because there was no interest and there was no intrigue. Sometimes when you get big reveals, big twists in movies, you like to have flashbacks as characters talk over what actually happened and they explain the truth. This film doesn't have that, and whereas I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy that the movie trusted its audience, I feel this is a movie that could have used flashbacks, like as reminders of who these people are, what was established before, and how is it different. I feel The Woman in the Window finds itself much more interesting than the audience finds the film. It feels like it puts all these important pieces in play, but it doesn't establish them as important, and so you really don't remember anything apart from our main character, who again is great, and everything else is just there. It's just background noise. It is very much Hitchcock inspired to the point where Rear Window literally plays in the background throughout a lot of this film, but apart from the catharsis that you get by the end in that third act alone and the stellar performance from Amy Adams, the building foundations of an interesting film are not there. It is a concept you're very interested in. It is a very bland and boring execution. I'm giving The Woman in the Window a C. In many ways, it shows you how important it is to go out on a good note despite the first two acts just not doing it for me. But what did you think? Did you enjoy The Woman in the Window? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you read the book? Which one is better? Let me know all that in the comments below. Start the conversation. It's the most important part. And thank you so much for watching. You are the best. And if you've watched this far, why don't you consider clicking the subscribe button if you haven't yet? If you ever get tired of my face or my voice, you can always unsubscribe in the future. It's all fine and dandy. Thank you so much for watching once more. I'll see you very soon in another review. And so until then, love each other and love the movies.